Welcome to Awkward Channeling, where spiritual insight meets real life awkwardness. If you're here for truth, growth, and a little chaos, you are in the right place.
Hello.
Hey
Welcome.
everybody. It's gonna be interesting today.
It might be. So I'm not at home. I'm at somebody else's house helping them move, and my internet's a little wonky. So
Yeah.
it's possible if there's anybody around that you may see some glitching with that. And we're going to just keep going through it and try not to address it anymore. We have to. But if you guys don't hear something because one of us froze, please
Yeah.
comment. Just let us know. Hey, we
Yeah.
didn't hear that. We'll do what we did last time, which was just kind of summarize it.
Right. Hey Lorelai.
Hi, Lorelai.
And
Yay, thank you for coming.
today we are talking about people pleasing and whether it's actually love or self-abandonment. And I think we all I think all light workers kind of deal with that though, because I think a lot of it's the empath in us that you
Yeah.
want to. Oh, and my
Well, I
mind
think
is going blank.
with
I'm sorry.
oh, and I'm having the biggest word problems right now too, you guys. So just bear with us today. But I think shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. See, we're already doing it.
And
Anyway, welcome.
it's nuts. The energy is nuts. We were just talking about the other day. We both had, and I'm curious to see if anybody else has had that too. Like something happened. I drove through it, and what did it like went through you? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was sitting on the back porch here with the trees and the hummingbirds, and all of a sudden I felt this wave like move through me. And it made me think of like in a movie when they time warp something and how the world just kind of distorts and then comes back. It felt like that. It was so weird.
I
Anybody else
was driving and drove through it, and I could see like little waves it was very, very, it didn't feel bad. It just felt weird. And it's like something's been off.
And it happened twice to me today.
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of ringing in my ears. Have you?
Had what in your ears?
Ringing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lots of ringing. So.
Oh, Alicia's felt it too.
Yep. I felt that, and I didn't know what to. I also can't see very well right now. Like my eyes are actually blurry. Like it's so strange.
It is crazy.
So I wonder if we're all just, maybe
is it like upgrading or something?
I kind of have a feeling that some of it is the ascension process of the planet and the whole I mean, people are talking about separating. I just don't see it that way. But
I'm sorry. I don't know who it was, but I just heard it's going to get weirder.
I think it is. So everybody buckle up.
Right. Buckle up, buttercups.
But anyway.
We'll be fine. It's just going to get pretty weird. So, okay.
When we're talking about empaths and the people-pleasing thing, I feel like the unaware empath takes on everybody else's stuff without having any idea that that's happening. And it becomes real about you, not knowing it really doesn't belong to you. And I think that is a huge factor. I think a lot of humans, empath or not, get into the people-pleasing roles for many different reasons, right? And we basically are abandoning ourselves when we do that. But then we live like that most of our lives. Like I lived that way until I was in my 40s.
I still do.
And oh gosh. See, I thought I was going to have the problem. Are y'all hearing her? I'm not hearing her. I don't know what to do because the internet, I don't know if she's frozen or not. Oh, goodness gracious.
Not so cool. I forgot to do a clearing. I'm going to do a clearing real quick.
Okay, you froze up and I'm like, I don't want to yell, but can you all hear her?
I don't know. Could you hear me? Okay.
Not.
And when it just went out, I mean, it's actually sunshiny right now. The storms aren't here yet, but I'm gonna do a quick clearing and
Okay, let's let her do it. We should actually do a group clearing anyway. So you
yeah,
want to
that's
do
what
the
I
group?
meant. That's
Okay.
what I forgot to do the group clearing ahead of time, and
I will hush up. Sorry.
Unate asiana toku ana tante ana samanta toku ana na yatsuki. Unatake asiana take amayana take. Unasi ataki. Unatake amayani ataku. Si anataku. Umatatake asiana taku. Unatake asi asaka anatotu. Unatake asiana taku anataki anatake anatsi atake. Yeah. Whew.
I gave you some extra.
Thank you.
Finally. All right, let's try that again.
Yeah, but I started to say for me, it started in childhood because I learned very early on that love around me was conditional. If I wasn't doing these things that were expected of me, then I didn't get anything in return. And it has carried over, even though, my poor husband got, he puts up with all my quirks and I know that he's going to love me no matter what because I have put that man through some shit, let me tell you, and he's still right here. But
Yeah.
it's in the back of my head. I feel like, even with, the grandkids, I got to do this, I got to do that. And I'm
I
just
know I've lectured you
recently,
about it.
I know, and I have gotten better, and I am better, and I'm like, I have started writing lists, and y'all need to do this. Momo's not doing it anymore, and
Yeah.
it's
It's a really hard pattern to break. So
yeah,
we really need to come at it, with sympathy in a sense for people
right,
because it's really a hard thing. And, in
right,
my childhood was I couldn't do anything right at all. And even when you did do it to the specifications, you were still demeaned for it. So
right,
you get into that weird pattern where even though you know it's not going to matter, you keep trying
yeah,
and then you drag that into life with you.
right. Oh yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
oh
But,
yeah,
what is it really? I mean, it's us abandoning our true selves. It's us, learning that everything is based on an external force,
right.
whether it be a
How
parent
someone
or
else
loved
is
ones
going
or
to react,
society.
and yeah,
Yeah. 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 I mean, so that's how it's abandonment because you begin to 0, you're not there. You don't exist at all. I didn't exist at
right.
all. I was in a marriage and I was trying to heal and I was realizing, well, in there, I don't know who I am.
Oh yeah,
And I set that up to where he made all the decisions, really. Even though he kept putting it back on me, he would still make the decision. Like,
yeah,
I would make the decision for him thinking, what would he want?
right.
Even when it was, like, totally up to me. So even when I moved
Oh yeah,
out, I
that's
bought
yeah,
furniture that he would like. Not because I
absolutely.
wanted
Yeah.
to get back together, because I didn't know how to do anything else.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
that's
think yeah, it gets really deep, and
yeah,
that's
and
something.
still people are like, well, what do you like to do? I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't have
know.
to
You
I
know.
like to talk to people about their stuff.
Yeah, but it's like I'm like I've so much of my life has just been, doing for other people, and it's important, and I slowly am because I'm like right now it's like give me a bubble bath and I'm happy, leave me alone and I'm
Right.
happy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think,
Yeah,
if we talk about that, I think, kind of healing from that, one of the things that helps it is those little things, right?
right.
Where we actually take 5 or 10 minutes for
Yeah,
ourselves and we sit down, we go outside, we take a half an hour bubble bath.
right,
We carve the space out for ourselves, and I think that's hugely important.
right.
But we also start to realize that we have to figure out what we're feeling and
Mhm.
what's ours and what is not. And when you start to separate that out, then it helps. But
Yeah,
what is love, right? Like,
right.
what really is love against people pleasing? Like,
Yeah.
That's hard to define for me.
Yeah, me too. It
Yeah,
really is. And for the longest time, I had no clue what unconditional love was.
yeah,
I
yeah,
never, and I think that in a part is why I love animals so much and have so
yeah.
many, because they are the ones that love me no matter what. And
That's a good point.
I knew I didn't get it from people, so here are my babies, and
Yeah, yeah, I was the
course,
same
and
way.
I'm like, oh, let me save you, and bring them home. I was like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and, through
that's
my childhood, we had a lot of different animals at different times.
yeah,
My mom went through this period where we had a mini ranch,
right.
and we had all kinds of weird animals, which was great. I mean, I love them,
Yeah.
horses were big and they were
Oh
but
yes,
it was like I guess that's where I would come up with my definition of love. The way that they just cared for you even when you weren't in a good mood and you weren't
right,
nice to them,
right.
they always cared. And
Yeah,
that I guess that's kind of a little bit of what really unconditional love is. And it isn't just love, it's unconditional
right,
love. Because it's not that I think that our parents didn't love us. I think they didn't know how to love unconditionally.
yeah.
And
Oh
and
yeah,
or it was
because
extremely conditional and it didn't feel like love.
yeah, and it's the same was done to them too, so that's all they knew, and
Oh, worse.
just pattern after pattern. It
Until it got to us, and we're stuck
right,
in that,
yeah,
you know?
and I don't know, and I think the worst is when you finally realize, hey, that's not love. They don't love me. It's what can they love me because of what I do for them. That's was pretty,
How handy I am, how I service them,
yeah, yeah,
but outside of that, what does it feel like? And I think
right,
that's a great way to, evaluate.
yeah,
Keep looking up, which drives me nuts, but it to evaluate, what am I in? What
right,
is the scenario that I'm if you're in a relationship or you have a friend that's a little funky, you know,
yeah.
um, to
Mhm.
yeah, there goes the words again. No, there's no words. Let's see.
I
Okay.
know. It's
Help
true.
us. Well, the realization is kinda shocking, but it gives you permission to move on.
Yes.
It does, and I think it also gives us permission to even within that, start carving out the space.
Right.
Learn how to carve out the space. I had to do that. I was a big walk away person,
Yeah.
but, like with my parents, it was really hard because it was like I kick them out, I bring them back, I kick them out, and I
Right.
bring or they worm their way back in,
Yeah.
but it never changed. So I think I just needed those processes. But
Yeah.
I would like to have been able to be in those relationships and grab the space, which I
Right.
actually kinda did with my now ex-husband.
Right.
I started to realize a little more, I started to carve out more space and little things and stop taking the crap,
Right.
I was like, "Well, you don't like it, then I guess you can do it." Things like that. It was like, "Okay, well, clearly I'm not good at it."
Right.
Things where you kinda stand up for yourself in some way, depending on what the relationship is, right?
Yeah.
Where you realize you matter and you exist, and, one of the things I tell my clients all the time is, "You matter." In every moment, whether you're happy or you're sad or you're being ridiculous, you still matter in those moments, and
Yeah.
who around you can let you matter and let you process through whatever's going on, right? Like, who
Mhm.
can? Um, but to me, I just see it as freedom beyond carving space. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Oh
Which is
yeah.
why it was my go-to too.
I mean, you actually can do things for yourself instead of, oh, if I do this, what's this person gonna, like me marrying my Forrest. For so long, I was there for my mom, and then
Yeah,
when Forrest and I got to, we went to high school together, and 18 years later, we start talking, and I moved from Louisiana to Maryland, and that was the first time in my life I ever did anything for me.
mhm.
And she didn't speak to me
She
for
didn't take it
months.
well, did she?
No, she did not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, because I wasn't going to be there, and I did everything for everybody, and
And
it's
that
like,
speaks yeah, that speaks of their dysfunction as well
yeah,
because, you really realize that they kinda set the stage for that.
yeah,
My mom used to say things like, um, "You the only person you're ever gonna have is me and your brother."
yeah,
And I was like, "I'm gonna prove that's not true." And
right,
so far, that is very not true because 'cause they're not
yeah,
around.
I know. Yeah. My
But
mom would tell me stuff like that too, and nobody's gonna love you, and I'm like, so that like,
yeah.
oh, that explains a lot too. That just came to me.
It's
Ding
hard to let
ding ding.
someone love you. It's hard to let someone
Right,
love you if you believe you aren't worthy
right,
of it, which I think we both were raised in the way, and I think a lot of people were. Again, their
right.
generation, what they went
Oh
through,
yeah.
what they were
Oh,
trying to fix too probably, but didn't get very as far, and, we're in a
yeah.
different time, so I think
Yeah.
it's
Oh, my
important that we
grandmother, did the same crap to my mom, and my this is funny. I'm sorry. My grandmother was on bed rest to have a hysterectomy when she got pregnant with my mom.
Oh,
So after she had my mom, she went straight to surgery. So, back in the 40s, it was major
yeah,
surgery. So
yeah,
she had weeks and weeks of recovery. So she always viewed mom as, kind of
uh-huh.
not hers because they didn't have that bond.
Right, yeah, I was gonna say they wouldn't bond and that kinda
Yeah.
thing, so then that
Yeah.
that co that's a whole other problem right
And
there.
because she was an oops baby, she kind of resented her. And
Yeah,
that
yeah,
boiled over to me because I was my father's child. I felt the resentment from my mom because she hated
right.
him. And yeah. So yeah.
I look like my father, not my
Yeah.
mother, and that was a problem for me too, and it's kind of
Right.
funny how, you know, I think we probably paid a lot of attention to that, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I do have a child that looks like her father, and I have one that
Yeah.
looks like me. It's so
I
strange.
had to go back and clear the birth of my son because when I
Oh, yeah.
first saw him, my first thought was, oh shit, he looked identical to like a mini version of my ex-husband. And I'm like, how am I gonna love him? And one day I realized, oh crap, you need to go back and redo that.
Yeah,
Because we're not setting that tone. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I know what you mean about looking exactly like.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that always plays a part too. But,
Yeah,
in all reality, I think that people pleasing is almost unavoidable for everyone because
right.
our system here teaches us that
Mhm.
everything is external. So you need external validation for everything, which means, love has to come from outside of
Right,
you. And it's nice if you have someone who comes at you with that energy. But the truth is, what you really, really crave the most is the love and acceptance for yourself.
yeah,
And that means if you've lived a life of people pleasing and dismissing of the self, you then have to kind of dive in and get in there and be like, who the heck am I?
right.
Right? Like, actually am I without all of that outside
Yeah,
noise and interference, without all of the conditioning? Who can I become? What can I release?
right,
And that's where the true love is. And truthfully, what I've always found is that the deeper we're able to love and accept the self, which
right,
sounds, I mean, it's words people use all the time, but
right.
it's really true. Like when we get out of those situations and we take that time and we dig in and we
Right,
realize, hey, I'm actually pretty badass,
right,
person. Like I am a good person and I thought I was awful,
right.
or I
Oh
lived
yeah,
angry for years and then when I started to heal and I realized that wasn't even me,
right.
you know, and then you realize that you guys, we are all amazing human beings. We
Yes,
are all freaking amazing. Everybody makes mistakes. We got to stop judging it. We
right,
have to be like, "Oh, I don't want to do that again. Ugh, that wasn't fun." And then we move on as I can't remember who avocado toast is at the moment. Hillary.
Hillary.
As Hillary was saying, moving on, was important, and it is really. It can be a really necessary piece,
Absolutely.
as long as you are now being there for you,
Yeah.
which changes like everything.
Yeah. And
Everything.
then you have to set the boundaries on top of it, and the guilt comes in. Or for me, it did, because
It's a journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
We say, "Oh, you just gotta leave, and it'll be all no, it's a journey, but it's a journey to the self.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
that
you first.
is
Yeah.
one of us did. Just I think journey to I think the journey to ourselves is the most important, and it's such a push right now.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever's happening and the weirdness that's happening in the world is gonna keep going. It's headed in the right direction, but the more we connect with ourselves, I totally lost my train of thought there, the better off
Who
we are.
is here?
Let's channel whoever that is.
I don't know. I don't
I
know
wanna
who it
say it's
is.
Jesus, but I don't know.
I kind of feel like I thought Mother Mary was coming in, but I kind of feel like it's Lucy.
Oh, yeah, it might be.
Okay, because because
we're talking
we're
about
shedding. We're like a snake. We're shedding our skins and like becoming new people constantly, is what he was saying. So yeah. Okay. Well, let me bring him in and see what he wants to.
Let's channel him. He's funny.
Yes, the guilt is a big part of your journey, but it is something that needs to be released at this time. It is nothing more than an anchor that weighs you down from being your true, authentic self. You must realize that everyone is on their own journey, and whether they make you feel guilty or they get mad or frustrated or don't speak to you, that is on them. That has nothing to do with you because you are here for self mastery. And that is often overlooked. Yes, you are here to help heal and bring light in, but you are here for self mastery first. And that means self healing, boundaries, finding out who you truly are and what you truly can do, because you are all fascinating light beings just like we are. We have said this many times, and many of you are finally starting to somewhat believe it because you are getting stronger every day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring through a healing of clearing to help release that guilt that you may be feeling for setting these boundaries. Know they are for your highest good. And we're proud of you all for finally taking these steps to do things for yourself, because it is important to put yourself first, even above your children. We don't mean to neglect them, but you have to take the time to recharge your batteries. You can't fully care for others when you are run down. It's not selfish, it's self care. So I will bring through that light language now. Usakiyama tatake asi atataku anatake asi anataku anatake unatake asi anatake amayana nataku unatake asi anatake hanatake asi anataku amayana taku asi anatake unati atataku asi anatake amayani atake usake anataku anatake asi anatake anatake amayani atake unatake asi anatake amayani atake asi anatake. And remember, you are what's important. You do matter, as Shauna mentioned earlier.
You
Ooh,
matter at every moment.
ooh, that was like right in the gut for me. Wow.
Yeah, that felt good. Hopefully that's
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah, I hope so.
I like
Ooh,
him. He's funny.
I know.
So this is a good point Hillary has here, which is people should treat you as equally and with as much
Right.
energy as you put into them. Otherwise, that's your answer to move on.
Absolutely. Yep.
And that's very true. It's very simple. And
Yeah.
as humans, we complicate it.
Yeah.
We don't have to complicate it. It's really not as complicated as we like to make it.
Yeah.
Um, but it's because we're so busy people pleasing that we
Yep.
complicate it. Like, what's going to happen if I pull back? They're going to hate me.
Right.
I don't want them to hate me. Uh, like he
Right.
said, that's on them,
Right.
not
And
on
it's
you.
like I heard earlier, real love doesn't go away when you set those boundaries or like, hey, I need to do this. It stays. It doesn't go away. So if they're getting mad and yeah,
Withdrawing their love.
hi.
Yeah, it's just not right. Can
Mm-hmm.
you improve it? It depends on if the other person is willing to actually accept their responsibility.
Right.
We're all responsible for the ways our relationships are.
Right.
So, if both people can accept that there's responsibility and they can work together to figure it all out, then yeah, I mean, things can be healed. So it isn't always a walk away. It just depends on what you're dealing with, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, because if
So
you bring up, what you need and it's dismissed, or even if it's like a constant thing, you're constantly bringing it up, and it'll get better for a little bit. Now, this was my ex.
and then
Get
right back.
better for a little bit, and then right back to it. Yeah, it's
If they're pretending,
yeah,
that's not, real work on
right,
whatever their responsibility is in their behaviors and in your the way you go.
absolutely.
Words are not.
Oh no, sorry.
I was looking up and reading the description because I remembered there was something else we were also going to bring in, which is
Oh, the
why the
healing.
healing process can be painful. Like how
Yeah,
sometimes it feels like is getting worse is
yeah,
what we were talking about
yeah.
before. And
But I
if
don't think things actually get worse. I think you're more aware, and so you're noticing them. They're the same. You're just, oh, this isn't right, and
yeah,
yeah,
when you become more
that's
self-aware, you start being more aware of other people's stuff too,
right.
and how something is out of alignment,
Yeah,
how their actions aren't fitting their words and things like that happening. Um, and then it feels like your whole life is breaking. So,
yeah,
I know when I went into my own healing, I mean, so many people had already left my life, but
yeah,
because I had been very slowly doing other healing.
yeah,
And then when I got really deep into the emotional healing and trying to find more of me, everybody left
yeah,
except my children,
right,
right? And it can feel really messy,
yeah.
it really
Oh yeah,
can. But it really is so true. And I can only say this because I've lived so much of it, that when something breaks in your life and leaves, I don't care if it's a friend, I don't care if it's, a husband, I don't care if it's a wife, like it doesn't really matter what it is. If something breaks and leaves, it's because there's something better for you.
yeah.
Right. And I think that for me,
Oh
my marriage breaking broke my heart. I was down and out for a while. But I see it as a blessing.
yeah,
I would not be where I'm at. I would not be who I
right,
am. And although I'm not perfect, I am not that same person.
right. Absolutely.
And I understand so much more of me and the universe.
Oh yeah.
Half popped right up.
I had no clue. Like I was pregnant when mine. And I was
Yeah.
like, there's no way. But I'm like, you know what? If I can do this by myself, I can do. a lot.
And when
So
you
it
stop people
teaches.
pleasing, you see things break. I mean,
Right. Oh, yeah.
it's you just hope that you can see it clearly because they will blame you, right?
Oh,
And, things will blame you're not the same person, you've changed.
you're
Thank you.
supposed to. It's like,
I'm so
hello.
happy to hear that.
All right.
To them, it's worse. To you, you're finding
Yeah.
peace within you that you've never dreamed was even there, and it is not, and the spiritual community talks about healing like, "Oh, yeah, if you just walk through your shadow work, you'll be all better." Well, it's true, but you got heartbreak in there.
Oh,
It is
yeah. It
hard
can be.
to face what you're holding in
Yeah.
your body from your life that you had no idea is there, that's controlling behaviors, that's, you know, causing relationships to pop up where there shouldn't be one, like
Right.
choosing poorly someone who's going to treat you badly,
Right.
friendship, whatever, you know, like there's so much that goes into that
Yeah.
journey. And that's why I think it's important that you have another healer to talk
Right.
to, or, some kind of temporary mentor that can help walk you through that,
Right.
or a coach like I do, right? Like I do that now. Because the support is important and we can't always have that friend we can trust,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I'd be lost without you.
Oh, right, and I feel the same way. And through my
Yeah.
whole journey, there was always someone that would pop up. I mean, I spent time alone, don't get me wrong, but
Good.
then you would pop up at the right time, and we
Yeah.
would connect, and then we would start learning again,
Right.
and then I would go through a period of healing, and then, somebody would pop up. It was so
Yeah.
funny. So, I don't know where I was really going with that, but I never know where I'm going with it.
Absolutely.
Welcome to my world.
Hmm.
I'm hearing something, so I must have somebody here too.
Somebody.
Who do we have? I'm not sure either. It just stopped.
Excuse me.
To channel something about this. I don't know. It's so strange to be not in my own space.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
It's a beautiful, house, and it's just a beautiful area, but I have been almost feeling so peaceful from the nice energy here and
Yeah.
the, sitting in the nature thing that I am like not all there. It's funny. I feel like somebody, are you getting anything? Because I'm having a hard time. Yeah. I
I
feel like
get
there's somebody or something that needs to happen.
I don't.
Okay. Well, keep going. What are we missing, guys? Help us with this. Is there something that, about this that maybe we could say more on that you're feeling that we've missed the mark? I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah.
Um,
So I can't think of anything else to stop. I went through all my notes.
mhm, mhm. Yeah. And,
Okay.
it's funny, I just think it's really important. So if we back up to the empath piece real quick, if you are empathic and you feel like you're a victim of it or that it's some kind of a curse, right? Because we've all been through that
Yeah.
because you feel everything so big and so much like it's your own and you have a hard time deciphering. My advice would be, and what has always worked, is when you have some kind of a different energy come through, or you have a mood swing that you don't understand, or you have a reaction that feels like it's not what you want or not who you are, take a second to ask yourself, is this mine? Does this belong to me? And see how you feel. Does this actually belong to me? And start separating that. Start realizing, okay, not everything I'm feeling is me. Sometimes it's people around me or the atmosphere I'm in at the time. Like, is it my overreaction or is
Right.
it that I'm overwhelmed with energy and I don't know who's who. That's another reason why I say you got to go in and figure out who you are, because it's harder to separate what you're absorbing from other people from who you are if you aren't sure who you are. So it's a really important piece. But at the same time, what I would say is if you're having weird reactions, you're not sure what's going on, start with, is this mine? And then say to your guides, hey, you can just your head, whatever's going on doesn't feel like mine. Can I get help being clear of it? I
Absolutely.
don't want to absorb from others. Start setting the intention in your energy field. I don't absorb. If I feel it, that could be okay because I might need to know this,
Right.
but help me not absorb it and give me space for my own being and for my own learning of myself. And I mean, I did it 1,250 million times a day, and I'm not exaggerating. I like when you start doing that
Yeah.
regularly and you start recognizing, oh, wait, this doesn't have to be mine. I
Right.
can own this. What is it? And then feel through it. It's important not to just dismiss
Yeah.
you couldn't possibly be the problem. But at the same time, being open to the fact that you're empathic, you know what you do. I had talked to a client the other day, and she's in her 80s. And she's lived her entire life as an absorbing empath, and
Wow.
she has not mastered that. And it's a really hard thing to just be in.
Yeah.
Somebody else there?
No, I think it's just releasing from earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all
You're
right.
not boring, I promise.
I just wasn't sure if maybe somebody was popping back in again.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not sure we're gonna come up with anything else to talk about. Do you have any more to add?
No, my
Or
brain has been fried since Lucy came in. So, well, it was a little fried before, but it's worse now.
yeah, that's the archangel energy is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So oh my God, like we don't know what's wrong with us, you guys. So we love all of you. We appreciate that you sit through this.
Thank y'all for putting up with us.
We hope there's some little things that you can get out of this that maybe helps you, right? Because that's really our goal. We want you to understand that we've been there. You're amazing. You matter at every
And we're
moment.
proof that you don't have to be perfect to do anything.
You don't. They'll call you out every time you aren't. But our goal is really just, there's so many things that our goal is. We want to help with what we've been through, what we know.
Yeah.
And we don't want anybody to assume we know everything, because we don't.
And it helps knowing that you're not alone, Hey, I'm not the only one that's going through this, having these feelings. So just like going through the wavy crap, I had forgotten about it until Shauna mentioned it, and it's like, oh my God, so yeah, it's.
Well, and you look at us and you think, oh, well, they've done so much work. And we have, don't get me wrong. But I'm 57 next month.
Yeah.
So that's only like 17 years since I turned 40 that all hell kind of broke loose for me to be healing. So, just know that we're all still on that path and learning as we go, and we'll share what we get.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. You'll have a lovely weekend. We will see you next week. I don't know if we're doing live on Patreon this week or not, but we do have the Patreon where we're doing more. I am not right now.
No,
I'm failing. I can't remember what
week after next, I think, because we went to once a month, not every 2 weeks.
Yeah. We're doing a live there pretty soon. It's in our paid feature, but anyhow. Thank you. We're just going to awkwardly end this. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us today. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And you could join us on Patreon for exclusive content and deeper behind the scenes magic. We will see you next time.